Hi, I'm going to talk about the negatives and positives that we address in spiritual growth. I think of spiritual growth as simply retaking your territory. We are all spiritual beings. We are all part of a collective consciousness that encompasses all of life. All that lives is aware. All that lives is sentient. I am surrounded by life here. I am surrounded by a collective awareness that includes all of us. Of course, that is true wherever we go. So, spiritual growth. Spiritual growth is regaining consciousness of things. It is regaining the awareness that we are creators. There are only two things. There are creators and there are creations. Sentient beings are creators, every one of us. And spiritual growth is largely a matter of allowing ourselves to connect with our consciousness of creating all that we experience in order for us to experience it in the way that we do, and thereby being able to redirect our energies, our projections, and our creativity for better pursuits, for harmony, for creativity, for love, for fun. So, the positives and negatives in spiritual growth. I mean, what we address in our path, specifically for regaining our spirituality towards complete self-realization, which is all realization. Some practices relating to spirituality focus on what you could say is the positive aspects. You know, recognize that you are a all-knowing spiritual entity, create and experience love, feel and express gratitude. Connect with certain abilities, certain awarenesses. It's all good stuff. And certain spiritual growth practices focus on what holds us back, what disturbs us, the negatives, bad feelings, conditions, attitudes, bad self-images, limiting beliefs, pain and fear. It's all good to address these things. Either one is not complete without the other. See, we are all moved in the direction of accomplishing our dreams, our goals, and our aspirations. Maybe that's the essence or purpose of life. And one thing I've come to understand very well is that when you address your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, when you try to work towards them, you will encounter all the negatives within your spiritual realm or within your mind. It's very interesting, the mechanics of this, but when you attempt to connect with your positivity and your aspirations and the idea of achieving them and the feeling of success in your dreams, goals, and aspirations, any internal negative oppositions that oppose that dream, that goal, or that aspiration is flushed right front and center to the surface. And that's actually a very useful tool in spiritual counseling, at least as I see it and as I use it. Get the idea of how wonderful it will feel to have or achieve whatever a prime aspiration of yours is. Allow yourself to connect with the knowledge that it is, that you have it, that you've got it, here and now. And boom, watch every counter thought and feeling just hit you in the face. Maybe that sounds negative, but it isn't, because we want to address those things. We want to resolve the negative energies of your negative spiritual architectures, or what a student of the mind might call your mental mechanisms, which is a useful but somewhat superficial understanding, I suppose. So how do we address these? Very simply. Now, people tend to look for an attribution. The reason why. What happened that I am this way or somebody else is that way? What incident or situation accounts for this problem? Well, I understand that instinct, but it can be misleading, because essentially every undesirable feeling or sensation, whether it's spiritual, mental, or even physical, is a specific energy that is expressing. When one person tries to distance himself from another person who is expressing panic or fear or depression or rage, the person doing the distancing isn't actually consumed with distancing themselves from the person expressing these painful emotions. No, this person who is doing the distancing is trying to prevent connecting with his own such energies, which are resonating with the other person's feelings. It is ourselves that we are trying to suppress when we try not to connect with and experience another person's feelings, because we have those energies within us and they resonate. It's energies. That's what it is. Now, if you work through some form of therapy that focuses on a specific 1 or 2 or 3 incidents where a certain condition or feeling has been apparently generated, you will get a degree of relief. But if you address successfully the actual energies of these undesirable or disturbing feelings or sensations successfully, then you can resolve that very feeling itself, and not just one relatively minor continuum where that energy has been expressed and experienced. And how we do this, how I do this very successfully, is by allowing the energies of some painful or disturbing feeling or condition to express. Let it express right through you, let it permeate, and you just remain effortless. You don't do a thing to or with those feelings. Stop trying to solve them, explain them, attribute them to something. I understand the desperation behind such efforts, but all you need do is let go of your resistance. Many times when I have a client do this in a session, their own resistance is what's getting in the way. I can tell this by certain indications within the being, and I will guide or remind you to allow the emotional energies of your own resistance to letting this feeling be felt, whatever that feeling may be, is itself simply an energy to allow to express through you and let it be digested. You're not generating any resistance in a session. You're not putting forth any kind of effort or force in a spiritual counseling session. As far as the negative spiritual architectures and disturbing feelings, those energies, you stay very nicely effortless, relaxed, and just notice the energies of these feelings expressing through you. You notice them. You don't deny or suppress or try to do anything about them. They're simply energies. And when you've learned not to project these as being too painful or threatening or overwhelming to experience, it goes well. And when we do this until the energies and all related feelings and sensations are no longer present. Just let it all express until there's nothing here. And that is the part of my approach and what we've been doing in our sessions to address the negatives. Essentially, a negative is something that does oppose our aspirations, our goals, and our dreams. That's what makes it negative. So then the underlying and senior drive is the drive of any passion, aspiration, dream, or goal of yours. That's the drive. We have something in us. Each of us has our own spiritual compass that directs us in the path of our dreams and our aspirations and our goals. And that's why it flushes to the surface our internal oppositions, so that we can clear those hurdles and be on our way to our aspirations, to our goals, and to our dreams. And of course, just processing the negatives is just half of the task. The other half is now to connect with and allow yourself to feel the energy, feelings of that aspiration or goal actually being accomplished. That situation, that condition, that experience actually being here all along, being here now, having it, because it is here. It's always been here. It's never been anywhere else. In some of my other lectures, you can see where I talk about you don't search for things. You let them find you because they're all here. It's all here. What you seek, it's never anywhere else but here and now. It's just a question of clearing the internal oppositions and then allowing yourself to recognize and connect with that which you desire. It's always been here. So the positive step is exactly that. Have gratitude for, completely enjoy, take in, bask in, and revel in that dream, that goal, that aspiration being completely achievable and in fact here and now for you. Allow yourself to have that energy and connect with it. Feel how it feels. You can successfully do that once you've cleared out the internal oppositions. It's actually not hard. And inside of 10 to 20 minutes, it becomes quite a revelation, quite a change. So, as I was saying, if you want to clear out any internal oppositions, it's simply a matter of connecting with, allowing yourself to connect with the positives, those wonderful feelings, the wonderful energies of recognizing you have your goal, you have your aspiration. It is accomplished. And whatever is in the way of having this flushes right to the surface. We spiritually digest it by simply allowing it to express through us. And once this is accomplished, then we can connect. And this is how and why, to further our spiritual growth, we must recognize and connect with the negative and the positive. It's really simple and it's really beautiful. And I do know that most of us can succeed in spiritually digesting, at least to some degree, the negative energies of the feelings and conditions and sensations that disturb us, just by doing as I've said. I do notice that it is completely accomplished routinely in a session with me. I notice that those participants who have worked with me through a few sessions can do this on their own much more easily, to a greater degree of accomplishment. In a session with me, it is always to a complete accomplishment. Sometimes a participant will ask me, should I be doing this or trying this myself? Is that okay? Of course it's okay. You can only experience progress. That's all you'll experience is progress, to the degree that you will do nothing other than simply be. Remain effortless and let the energies of whatever feelings or sensations or conditions are here and now present for you. Just sit with it. Let it express. To get better at it, I can help you through some sessions where you need the help. Many people do come to me, and we go climb one mountain after another. And that's the secret and the principle of spiritual growth, through recognizing, addressing, and having the energies of the positives and the negatives. Get in touch with me for a free session. I promise you we will have fun and you'll be happy with it.